Hi, my name's Heidi Briones, and I'm running for Congress in Oregon's 1st District. I wanted to tell you a little bit about myself and my background, who I am, and why I decided to run. When I was a little girl, I always knew that I wanted to do something big and impactful that would help a lot of people. I wasn't quite sure what it was, but I knew I had to do it. My first job was actually as a legislative aide in Sacramento. I worked for a few different Democratic senators, learned about doing research, and how to deal with constituent issues. That led me to want to pursue law. So I was pre-law in college. I went to UC Santa Cruz, and I studied politics with a minor in legal studies. I noticed one thing on campus though, a lot of students were getting exploited by the campus police just because they didn't know about their civil rights and their civil liberties. So I started an American Civil Liberties Club on campus, and we educated students as to their legal rights so that they were no longer taken advantage of by the campus police. After university, it was around 2007, and the housing market was essentially starting to crash. The economy wasn't looking so great either. I decided that instead of going to law school, I would take this opportunity to pursue teaching. I come from a family of teachers, and I thought I'd give it a try, get some life experience, have an adventure. So I left the country and took a job in Taiwan. I ended up teaching English to young kids, learned a lot about myself, learned a lot about their culture, learned a little bit of Mandarin, and hopefully taught them a lot of English at the same time. I got really into teaching, so I went back home and got my master's in teaching English as a second language. After I did that, I actually took a job in South Korea, where I taught at a university, and the same thing, learned a lot about the culture there, learned a little bit of Korean, and had a great time. When I came back to California, I took a job in San Francisco, and there I taught students from various backgrounds. I had a great time teaching. However, I wasn't making enough money, to be frank, so I had to drive for Lyft on the weekends. San Francisco's an expensive city, and I learned a lot about technology and the gig economy and things that were going on now as we were transitioning into a new form of economy. I decided that I would apply for a PhD program, and I was accepted at Northern Arizona University in the Applied Linguistics program. I taught there, I learned a ton, learned a lot about research and linguistics. I decided, however, academia probably wasn't the best path for me, and my curiosity about climate change and electric vehicles led me to take a job at a Tesla factory outside of Reno, Nevada. There I was positioned with helping to build the Model 3 battery modules. I was placed on a semi-automatic line right next to the automatic line. So we were humans working in line with robots. Elon Musk would come by and check out what we were doing and our process, and they would apply that to the actual robots working alongside us. I saw that these jobs were subject to displacement, and that eventually everything in the factory was going to be run by robots. That led me to listen to some of Elon's talks, where he talked about universal basic income as a necessity due to automation displacing a lot of human jobs. And I got very curious about that. I started learning more about it, and I realized this is definitely going to be a thing. It's going to happen. I actually left Reno. I moved to Portland, Oregon after I got married, and since then I've been working in call centers, which is another job that's subject to automation. I found Andrew Yang's campaign around that same time, started listening to his talks, and realized, hey, this is an actual candidate talking about these issues that are important, and we could actually make this happen so that we can protect people from displacement from these jobs. And I got involved in his campaign, started volunteering, started text banking, started talking to people about him, started getting the word out that universal basic income is necessary, that automation is happening and it's coming, and if we don't do something now, it's gonna be a problem. When he dropped out of the race, honestly, I was depressed because I knew we had to do something, but I also knew that he was only one man. And he talked about it so many times that we have to bring a wave crashing down onto Washington, D.C. on these issues. And so now I'm running to be part of that wave.